going on, guys? I'm going to be starting my new marathon. It's probably one of the most popular film franchises of all time, and the best thing to come out of the UK since Beans on Toast, and that's the Harry Potter franchise. And what better way to start this marathon than starting from the beginning? So let's dive into the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, depending where you live. From the very beginning, the Harry Potter films, books, and now Disney universe have become one of the most influential and captivating creations of all time. They transport viewers to an extraordinary magical world, crafting one of the most remarkable and beloved fictional universes on the planet today. With its heartwarming storytelling and memorable scenes, the Harry Potter series has captured the hearts of millions worldwide. While the films are not without flaws, they are undeniably a generational piece of cinema. Chris Columbus' direction is instrumental in setting the stage for the entire series. The Sorcerer's Stone lays out the groundwork for the grand adventure that unfolds in the subsequent films. Without this film's exceptional cinematography, world building, characters, and just the overall storytelling, the rest of the series could have easily fallen flat and become mere disappointments. One of the Sorcerer's Stone's greatest strengths lies in its ability to establish the tone and the foundation of the entire series. It sets the stage for the darker elements and complexities that will emerge in later films. While this film maintains a lighthearted tone throughout, it also subtly hints at the darker aspects of the Wizarding world, leaving viewers eager to discover more. To kind of delve deeper into that, what truly sets this film apart is the remarkable ability to establish most of our main characters who will continue to evolve throughout the series. Whether it's crafting intricate character arcs or simply building upon the strengths of these characters in this film, Christopher Columbus excels in making us care and become more invested in each one. One of the standout aspects to this film is its exploration to Harry's backstory. Columbus provides us with all the necessary information while leaving room for mystery and intrigue. This allows us to connect with Harry on a deeper level and understand his motivations and actions. While the world building in this film is undoubtedly a major draw, it's the characters, and particularly our beloved trio, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, that truly captivate the audience. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson bring these iconic characters to life with their raw talent and their charisma. Rupert Grint in particular makes a remarkable debut as Ron. Despite being brand new to acting, he brings a fresh energy and charm to the role that perfectly complements Radcliffe and Watson. Their on-screen chemistry is undeniable, and they manage to portray a trio of young, immature actors who have surprisingly good chemistry. One thing's for sure, these actors really trademarked these roles to where they really couldn't be recasted for the better, even if Dumbledore himself tried to wave his wand over it to give it a try. Not to say Fantastic Beasts tried it, because they were their own personal prequel films, but even with films like that, I just couldn't get as invested into those characters as I did here. Each character in the trio has their own unique qualities and strengths. Harry embodies the innocent yet dark aura, Hermione represents intelligence and nobility while balancing out both boys, and Ron provides the comedic relief with his loyalty and charisma with great body language and his facial expressions. Their interactions are well crafted, and they complement each other perfectly, where nobody outshine one another, making the film to be at its best when they're all in frame. Now, while it's easy to categorize them as a cliched group with the cool kid, the brains, and the dumb yet funny archetypes, each character has their own distinct selling point and investable qualities. They balance each other out, creating a dynamic and engaging trio that keeps the audience invested throughout the entire film. Now, speaking of cliched characters, you could also categorize Draco Malfoy as a predictable sub-villain, but he also possesses a unique charm to his character. Unlike the typical mustache-twirling villains, his connection to Harry and his backstory was well established, immediately creating a notable rivalry that paid off effectively. His performance, while somewhat amateurish, was fitting for the role of battling Harry and his friends. As far as the adult characters in the film, Columbus was not afraid to invest in a talented cast, including Alan Rickman and Maggie Smith. While it's easy to assume that all actors perform well, their performances only improved with each subsequent film, making them more investable. Just like the children, each adult character had their own distinct personalities and traits that made them relatable and engaging. In my opinion, Alan Rickman, his character as a whole, not just this film, is his best alongside his iconic role in Die Hard. With him as an important role as Severus Snape, he adds a layer of mystery and suspense by exploring his character's identity, motivations, and connection to Harry. Lastly, the character of Rubeus Hagrid, played by Robbie Coltrane, seems to be everyone's favorite, including mine. He shares a similar likability to, say, like Yoda, embodying a lovable and noble character with a touch of humor and charisma. The next crucial aspect of this film was the screenplay by Chris Columbus and Steve Kloves, or Cloves, I'm not exactly sure how they pronounce it. The script itself was captivating on its own, brimming with wit and intrigue, complemented by a unique mythical speech style that seamlessly blended with the setting and the plot. They also managed to incorporate some genuine funny moments throughout. However, what truly elevates this film is its remarkable adaptations from the book. The plots in the book were damn near perfect, but the writers did an exceptional job condensing and rewriting certain scenes to make them easily digestible in film format without compromising the essence of the source material. They still paid great homage to the book, acknowledging that movies are movies and books are books, but they're all forms of literature, while adding their own distinctive flair through memorable and quotable dialogue. Before delving into some of the film's shortcomings, I want to discuss its technical aspects, particularly the score, special effects, and the production design. While some of the special effects may not hold up as well as they once did, especially the green screen backgrounds and the full body CGI work, I've seen many animated films from around the same time, and this film stands out in comparison. What I truly appreciate about the effects work was the seamless blend of the practical effects and the CGI. While there was more CGI than practical, it was executed fairly well, particularly the practical elements including the costume work. Moving on to the score, it is nothing short of masterful. The tune will remain etched in your mind long after the credits roll, and anyone who hears it will instantly recognize its origin, sort of like Jurassic Park or Star Wars or anything like that. The score infuses each scene with life, enhancing a magical ambiance or taking a dramatic turn to emphasize the potential risks. As far as the production design, it is equally impressive. The sets were meticulously crafted to the point where they were retained for about a decade, used in the subsequent films. Columbus didn't compromise on the budget. Instead, they invested a considerable amount of time and effort creating these sets and setting the stage for each frame. These sets were just so breathtaking, it just made you want to go out there and explore it if you could, to the point that they inspired Disney to expand on the world of the film into a real-world attraction in Florida. Now, while this is one of my favorite films of all time, I still have a few reservations that prevent it from being a true masterpiece. My primary concern is the excessive amount of exposition. I understand that adapting such a complex book into a movie requires a lot of background information, but it feels like they're kind of overdoing it in a way. It's like they were trying to explain every little detail, leaving little room for the audience to discover things on their own, having to explain all the do's and don'ts, this is that, and this is how this works. This excessive exposition also contributes to the film's runtime. It takes about 90 to 95 minutes to actually establish the main conflict. There are just a lot of unnecessary scenes and explanations that drag on, and you start to feel that length in the movie as it approaches towards that 90-minute mark. Some things definitely could have been cut out or even shortened without losing too much of the story, but in their defense, they also included some enjoyable scenes that they couldn't afford to cut out. Now, I got like maybe 2 other issues, but they're minor nitpicks with the editing and the lack of magic, especially from Harry, and the fact that they don't really dig too deep on the teachers nor the other 2 houses either. Now, I kind of give this one a bit of a pass because this also could have fell into the excessive fat category if it wasn't handled properly, but again, in their defense, the Sorcerer's Stone didn't necessarily call for too much explanation on those type of things yet. The editing does feel a bit choppy at times, but I do give them a bit of a pass because these actors were very raw, so they shot a lot of these scenes with 3 or 4 cameras, but with that aside, some scenes feel a bit rushed or out of place. Additionally, the magic scheme doesn't feel as magical as it should have been, especially from Harry. It feels like it's just a convenient plot device rather than a genuine part of the film. Overall, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a great start to the franchise to come. It is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I got the poster up on the ceiling, as you can tell I kind of ran out of room. I had the pops over there behind my TV. I went out and got some gummy bears to enjoy myself. So, like I said, one of my favorites. I will always revisit these films at least once a year. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone gets a very solid 7 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think about Sorcerer's Stone in the comments below, and stay tuned for Chamber of Secrets. See you guys on the next one.